Hello, my name is Niall Peppers. I am the art teacher at Westminster Special Schools, and I will be talking you through this video, accompanied by the music we listen to in class. This video is for parents and carers to support a range of students with varying needs and interests. Please feel free to just focus on the parts that you find useful. Thanks.
Art, painting. This video gives guidance on how to support students' understanding of colour and material properties using paint. Painting, colour mixing. If you are concerned about mess, you can always place a vinyl tablecloth on the table or the floor. If you are giving a student an experience, it is important to highlight the sensory difference by spending enough time exploring the sensory elements between a dry, rough brush and then the wet brush when we add paint. When exploring paint, we always use colour mixing as a sensory outcome. We can do this simply by only using 2 of the 3 primary colours. When exploring colour, spend enough time on the individual colours, making handprints before giving enough paint to guarantee a colour mixing outcome. Here we are making purple with red and blue. We can support motivation using a choose sheet of familiar characters that are all in purple, orange or green costume. We can extend concentration and engagement by adding glue to sabotage the slippery texture of paint, making it sticky. When supporting students' grip of the paintbrush, always look for the easiest and most comfortable grip to encourage a visual attention to their hands. Here, the student has chosen green, again using a prompt sheet that showed a selection of characters. Here we are ensuring an intentional outcome that is generated by the student's choice. We are making green with blue and yellow. We can support restricted gross motor movement by moving the tray or supporting the student at the elbow. Where the student is more motivated by messy exploration, we can add glue to one colour and salt to the other, showing caution with students that mouth. The salt draws the water out of the glue and produces a strange texture which is excellent for student discovery and attention. Here, the student has chosen orange, the third of the secondary colours. We are making orange with red and yellow. To support highly interactive students, it is a good idea to only put small amounts of paint in the paint palette to encourage communication and asking for more. Where students are more motivated by messy painting, we can explore texture by adding glue and salt. Painting, exploring colour. For students who are not motivated by a specific colour outcome, but are highly motivated by exploration, messy play, and structured choosing, we can ensure that the outcomes of their exploration are guided. Here, a student may choose from all the messy painting materials. We can use pictures or symbols in token exchange, or have the actual objects just out of reach to ensure we are supporting communication. Where exploring colour is the objective, we don't want an imposed system of communication to block the pathway to exploration. By only offering small amounts of paint, just a drop, and carefully keeping the three primary colours, red, yellow and blue, separate, we allow for the organic mixing of green as the student merges yellow and blue. And orange as red and yellow mix. Organising the colours in different orders will allow for purple where red and blue can mix. I like to start with paint and only begin to offer glue, water, salt, sand, where the student becomes disinterested. We can introduce different materials into messy painting to extend exploration. Here, the student might be motivated by hay, or string or a piece of fabric. Painting. Colour relationships. In colour theory, we talk about complementary colours, or colours that are opposite on the colour wheel. Where we have made paintings with our students that are all one colour, here orange, the colour with the best contrast, the complementary colour, is blue. Here, using a social marble game, taking turns lifting the tray, we add blue paint to the marbles to make the blue marks. Here we have a purple painting and we are going to add yellow, the opposite colour on the colour wheel, or the complementary colour. For this messy painting activity, we can use masking tape to cover the parts of the paper that we want to remain purple. Here was a green painting we made earlier. The colour with the best contrast, the complementary colour, is red. Having already masked off the area we want to keep green, we are going to use a messy painting activity, playing with rice and paint to ensure our student is highly motivated. Once the paint is dry, it can be a fun activity separating the rice from the paper and saving it for another time. Painting, using tools. As with drawing, there comes a time when the paintbrush can be used to make specific and intentional marks. Here, we can direct specific outcomes for the paint and the student's gesture with their brush. Adding paint to a student's drawing is a good way of localizing a controlled gesture, coloring in a friend or person or character, or matching a colour. Number blocks are a good example as their colours follow the structure of colour mixing. Red is first, then orange, which we make by mixing red and yellow. Then third is yellow, as that is what we had to mix with red. Fourthly is green, mixing that yellow with blue, which is fifth, and purple would be next. Where transport and specifically buses are highly motivating for students, we can support intentional, controlled painting with a colouring in activity but using paint. We can begin to explore material properties and keep a student engaged by adding glue to one colour and water to another. Painting, paint textures. Where students are painting in a controlled and intentional manner, we often use their drawings to support the narrative of their painting work. as representational painting can be more challenging. Here, a student is going to add the ground, which they have decided is muddy. By mixing sand and glue, we can create a texture to the paint that can help to communicate that idea. We can then add brown paint, which we make with mostly yellow, some red and a little blue. Then, when painting the tree, the trunk is brown and the leaves are green, which we make with yellow and blue. You can also add glue and grass to this. When painting the sky, it is nice to add water and thin out the paint. We call this translucent, as the paint becomes more see-through. That is the same as the sky. Painting, controlled painting. For highly motivated students, we can begin to look at more complex drawings and paintings to work from, using familiar characters from the world of animation or illustration is the best gateway to beginning to look at more traditional works of art. Here we paint the underside of car's body brown, mixing red, blue and yellow. When painting more complex colour combinations, we must remind the student to wash and dry the brush between each colour. painting car's topside green, mixing yellow and blue. And his sleepy eyes orange, mixing red and yellow. To support the exploration of purple, we can use a motivational character, here Peppa Pig's grandpa. For students who are very specific in their interests and struggle to communicate, we can build an entire curriculum around their interests. Mixing red and white for the pig's pink skin, reminding the student to wash and dry the brush between each colour, mixing red and blue for Grandpa Pig's purple clothes, Here we can explore paint and mixing orange using Nemo. Mixing red and yellow to make orange. To explore the ocean, we can add water to our blue paint to make it translucent or see-through like the sea itself. Thank you for watching this presentation.